Hello again, everyone. We are back. We are Tally the Votes. We're here to talk about all the things that were and almost were this last week in Big Brother. I'm Christy, and I am here with my buddies, David and Jamie Joe. Guys, how are you?
I'm good.
Um,
I think we got to rename the show though.
To what?
what
This should be the second episode of "Don't Volunteer for the Block, Moron."
Pawns go home.
There's a
Pawns go
theme.
home.
There's a
Pawns go
theme.
home. Yeah,
Hmm.
it's a thing. Day
Well,
45, and he's still figuring that out. So, well, he
you
doesn't
know, I
have to
have
figure it out anymore.
I have really conflicted feelings about Tucker. I just really do. Like, I kind of don't
I
like him,
think
but then I
I
kind of,
that's the
but then
thing,
I'm,
though. I think
but then like,
everybody does.
but then at the same
There's
time, like he acts so like magnanimous about it. Like, oh, they're all wonderful people, and it's just a game. You go, oh,
Yeah, I was
wait a minute.
surprised to see the misty-eyed reaction to Robina. That kind of surprised me a little
Yeah.
bit.
So then you're like, wait a minute, dude.
Well,
Are
there
you a
was
jerk?
no shortage of crying this whole week, and especially in this episode. And two was it Sunday's review. We had lots of crying all week.
Well, it is allergy season, so maybe their eyes are just tearing for that.
Oh, sure. Yeah, it's a dusty room. The Big Brother house is so
Very
dusty.
dusty.
you
But
know
the entire time I'm laughing when they're crying because, well, first of all, the crying montage on Sunday was pretty damn
It
funny.
was pretty great.
But add to it that I just know how seethingly annoyed like David is while he's watching all these people crying, and I'm like, yes, yes, cry.
Every
I'm
tear is
surprised
like
you didn't
another
like
like
openly taunt me in our chat.
I knew I was gonna have the chance tonight, so.
I just have to say I got a mixed feeling on Tucker. I really didn't like him initially, and he kind of grew on me. But then he had this one aspect of his personality, like when he wanted something his way and he didn't get it, he got all butthurt and acted like a little
yes,
bitch. And I
yes.
just,
He's a
I
sore loser, yeah.
was, and that I felt like that was really him, and a lot of the rest of it was a show.
Maybe.
I kind of think that it's can be both things, because I think that he likes to have fun. I think that he just spent a lot of time just trying to make chaos in that house just to entertain himself. Somewhere along the lines, he was trying to put together a plan. And I think he just became overwhelmingly frustrated when people wouldn't do things his way. Um, he has often talked about just wanting to be done, though. Like this week, he was kind of like, kind of over it, wanting to go home. So I really thought he threw it. I like that Julie brought it up. Did you throw this challenge? I
He
thought
didn't
he
throw
did.
it.
He did not throw it, and
Nope.
Angela was doing kind of the same
Angela
thing.
rocked that challenge. She did that challenge or not Angela. Mackenzie rocked
Mackenzie.
that challenge. She did it in like half the time I would have thought it would have taken.
Yeah, it was almost like they lined it up for her. They didn't. They didn't. There was
And then she goes
but
back and she
was
finds the
so good
numbers
at
like
it.
on the first try, remembers them all,
Yeah,
pops them in, and boom, done.
yeah. I was really glad she won. Actually,
Now, I didn't get a good look, but I'm thinking that the puzzle pieces were pretty much sitting there for the 20 minutes they were sitting in that room. Like they were sitting right there by them. So they could kind of have a game plan in their head
they
before
could
they
have,
jumped in.
but
But
I
I
was
think that
noticing that
go ahead.
each pile was set up the same because I thought like, oh, so they all had. If they could all see, then
Yep.
they all had the same advantage.
Right.
Nobody had a
But I'm laughing at this because it's like this is the well, we have to give them a puzzle and it's got to be hard, but it really can't be too hard. And let's give them as much of an advantage as possible because this is being timed. It's live TV. So
well,
it's like they set them up there almost like, okay,
Well, but I think it
go
went even
get a
faster than they
gander,
thought
get a
because there was an
gander.
awful lot of filler at the end of the episode.
and
There was, but I don't know. Yeah, it
if
did go by fast. But
if the numbers were supposed to be on the side that Tucker thought, then everyone could have cheated off of everyone
if their
because
numbers weren't the same,
the
yeah.
way they were angled.
But
You
did
know what
they
I
have
mean?
different numbers?
Oh, we'll never know because nobody got their numbers but
That's true.
Mackenzie, so
That's
no
true.
one was even
I do
close.
have to say, I know there's a group out there that feel very badly about Tucker going home, and it's all the crazy cat lady Facebook pages because they just lost their eye candy and Angela stayed. They are losing their mind. I
Oh,
mean, they're like,
I'm
they
sure.
just cannot
Listen,
conceive of the fact that they threw Tucker out instead of Angela.
listen. Here's I don't really have a lot of conflict with my feelings about Tucker. It's like he's a lot of fun. He's funny to watch. He gets cuckoo as can be. He's a little bit immature when it comes to things not going his way. All of that being said, Angela, like, I don't care how locked in and how much of a threat Tucker would have been to my game. Hearing her plead for her game in that room would have made me swap my votes. I'd been like,
I
I
got
can't, I can't
I
do it.
thought that
Can't
might
do it.
happen.
Yeah.
I was
It's
like, she should have just shut up. It was pathetic.
Yeah,
I
right.
can't,
She doesn't know how to.
I can't. I can understand this is your dream. You wanted to do this. I get all of that. But could you express that without whining and just be a more
But
successful like campaign for yourself?
but at this point, if you were competing, Jamie, and you voted to send Angela home instead of Tucker, I would be on this podcast mocking you and ridiculing you as somebody who's obviously not a game player because you don't let a guy like that, who's that powerful, who's
No,
won that many challenges, stay if you got a chance
do
to send
not.
him home.
True.
you don't. Now, okay. At the end game, he you had somebody like, okay, Joseph, Rubina, and Angela. Those three people specifically, they all benefited a lot for him being in the game.
Sure, and I understood
At
those
some
votes.
at some point, he would no longer be beneficial for them winning the game, but he's helping their game. Everybody else, the votes were in the right place. Everybody else should have been like, yeah, get this guy out.
Except
Yeah.
chemo. What was that about?
Because I think chemo, because one, Tikur couldn't vote,
What
but
do you think she would have broke? That's the question I'm asking. Do you think they had it together and she would have broke the challenge in Tucker's favor?
no. I think it would have, well, maybe, yes. I think it would have been the same way as chemo. Whatever chemo was voting, chemo votes for the two of them at this point.
Well, that's what I wondered. Is because I thought, oh my gosh, it might be a tie, and
Because here's the thing, you look at, first of all, they didn't ask Angela into that alliance. They didn't want her to be in the
They did
alliance.
not want her in it.
no, they didn't.
They work with Tucker. I mean, that's their alliance. Tucker is their alliance member. It would have only made sense from at this point as far as loyalty goes.
Well, but a week ago, Cam and Chelsea were their alliance before they
Yeah.
jumped.
Yeah, it's kind of funny that Quinn was in the position he was in this week, where he really was thinking, well, I don't want to, like some of my closest people are T-Core and Chemo, and I don't want to rock the boat with them. But it's like they literally left you out of the vote last time. Well, they flipped it and they left you out of it. Like, who cares? Like, go with the way you need to go. Like, don't worry about them because they're clearly. But
I
now,
mean, the alliances are shifting so quickly from week to week anyway. It just, you know what I mean? There's
I
a
will
couple.
give the house that, right? They're back and forth all the time.
Yeah. So
Well,
like there's some that are together, like clearly T-Core and Chemo are together, right?
Yes.
Tucker and Rubina were together, right?
I mean, but literally together, I think. But
Literally together. But so there's some like that, but like the bigger ones just seem to shift each week, right? So
no, I think
without
Cam
Tucker,
and Chelsea are together. I think they're a twosome at this point.
yeah.
I think
So I don't know.
Joseph thinks he's playing a Survivor. I don't even think he knows what show he's on.
He's doing
He-
just fine. Leave him alone. Jeez.
Joseph-
He is a weird dude.
Joseph's just doing
not.
what Joseph do. I mean, it is what it is. But Caleb did bring up a good point when he talked about, Tucker, volunteered to go up as a pawn, but when you're HOH and it's your alliance member, do you let them go up as a pawn? I mean, I guess
Well,
you do
but
if
then
it's the biggest threat in the house, maybe,
I guess my point is what he didn't need to volunteer.
No, he did
And
it. He
and
did
he
it.
did it, and he did it because he thought she wouldn't put him up, and he was trying to curry favor. And
Yeah.
his game was very pandering at times.
Yeah.
You know,
He
and-
something that you and I know nothing about.
no,
he
nothing.
also loves to compete and loves puzzles, and I think he just wants to play the games.
Yeah, he was
And he
bored.
was
I think he's just bored. He just wanted to
And-
play.
And to be fair, he was winning all of them. He was winning.
There,
you know what
and
I
there's
mean?
not a
So-
lot of people who are playing real hard. I think Quinn's playing real
Yeah.
hard. I think Joseph's playing hard in his brain, but not in fact.
Yeah.
Um,
I think that's about right. No, I think Joseph thinks he's a hell of a bigger gamer than he
Just
really
wait.
is.
I mean, I like my cam pick now. All of a sudden,
Do you?
Well, it's nice that he, decided
He
this
finally showed up.
yeah, he did.
But and it's funny because I don't think this was a strategic, like, I'm just going to lay in the background and then make my move when the time is right. It was more of a, shit, my game's on the line. Maybe I should do something this week.
But he was fairly even chill about that. He's like, I'll win.
Yeah.
I'll take myself off.
But I do see they had Joseph, Cam, and Tucker did have a conversation about working out a final 3. I mean, they have discussed it a few times. So it was interesting. What I didn't expect is I expected Leah to cry and Angela to cry and Joseph and Kim. All these people I expected to cry, but I did not expect to see Cam get so emotional. That was a little bit surprising.
I mean, is this the week it seems like that everyone's starting to get a little paranoid, a little, you know what I mean? Things are
Yeah.
starting to like soak in. Like Angela had her big thing where I'm going to trust you again, Quinn. Quinn's like, okay. Because
Yep.
what do you say? Like, what are you going to say? No, don't trust me. Listen, lady, I'm not working with you. Don't trust me.
There's
But
nothing
you
wrong with
wouldn't
being
do that.
a snake like Quinn is doing, but he is doing it so overtly. And it just, nobody's going to trust
But
him.
is he
in the
being a
house.
snake when she just comes and tells him stuff and they do? I mean,
But
they did not want her in the alliance.
There's ways to slip that to Tucker without being just running and telling him.
You know what? I'm gonna
Maybe you
fight
don't
back
care.
on this. I'm gonna fight back on this because you know what? It's not clean gameplay, but it is so refreshing to see somebody who is playing so loudly as someone who can't be trusted and like owning it and not giving a rat's butt about it versus somebody like Nicole Franzel who's like a favorite and always playing this game over and over again. And what was one of my biggest complaints was her. She's a snake. She's a villain. Just I wish she would own it because then I'd really love how she plays the games. But she never owns it and goes, oh my God, I can't believe someone's mad at me. I love the fact that Quinn's all like, you don't want to trust me because I'm going to go rat you out. Like
It just feels to me that for Quinn personally, that Angela keeps doing these things. He wanted to work with her as soon as he met her, and then she blew up the game like on the first date. He was like, whoa, what is wrong with this lady? And I don't think he's wanted to work with her at all since, but she always kind of like inserts herself, right? And
it's
so
a weird
like
dynamic.
how many more times can he be like, I'm not playing with you, lady? Like
yeah. Also
and then for her then to say, you're untrustworthy.
Right.
Lady, I never told you to trust me. Like,
and this is
we're not a thing. You're not my girlfriend.
From a woman who literally has had 3 or 4 different alliances where they're being straightforward with her and being honest. And she goes, I don't trust you though. And then goes and turns on them.
Yep,
So,
and then goes and spills the beans to the whole house about the alliance. Like Kimo, look on Kimo's face when she was talking, and Kimo's like,
"Well, but you know what? At least
she's telling all her business.
She keeps it interesting."
You know what though?
She's cuckoo bananas. I'm sorry.
She is, but you know what? Again, I said it last week and I'll say it again. Anyone who wastes a vote taking her out at this point, she can't win. I want her right next to me in the final 2 if I can.
You know what? You're right, but you're not wrong. Yeah, I completely agree with you.
So anybody who pots to take her out is playing with emotion, not with any sort of sense of logic.
Sure. No, it's just like freaking sanity.
Well, you would, but that's why you'd go home.
Like Jamie said, because you go like, oh my God, I don't know if I can can deal with this person.
Yeah,
But you
I
do
would.
that stuff in the first 3 weeks.
Yeah, she would
I
have been
suppose.
gone after her HOH
Yeah.
was done. Bye-bye. I would have been
I
rallying
mean,
to get Angela
like you
gone.
said, her pleading to stay in the game, right? And then Tucker
Too
speaks,
much.
and what does Tucker say? It's all of our dreams to be here.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
knock it off. Like,
what
it's not.
that's the thing. Tucker, for all of the chaos that he is, okay, he was loyal to her. He literally gave up his veto to her.
Yeah,
And then he's the one who said, yeah, let her join the alliance. And
right.
there's too many times that Tucker has, just traditionally, if you were to look at the game traditionally, there's too many times that Tucker showed her loyalty.
Yes.
Overtly.
I don't know if I can trust you.
Yeah. So
What
But
do
I think there's something so false about Tucker's game that there's nothing. It doesn't feel genuine. It feels like a game move. And by the way, I said this on Facebook, and the crazy old ladies went at me like vipers, and I
Yeah.
got a warning from the admin for saying that Tucker is playing too hard and all of his moves are not sincere. They look like game moves, and she gave me a warning and said I was
David.
being negative.
David, now, honey, there's this thing that happens in friend groups. Okay, I'm just gonna key you in. Christy can back me up on this. There comes a time in every friends group where there's the one person who's always talking about their bad relationship, and how bad this person is and the things that they go through when they deal with this person. And for a while, that friend group will support that friend and say,
Yeah.
oh, have you tried counseling? Have you tried this? But there comes a time in every friend group we go, you know what? I can't save you from this toxic relationship if you can't pack your suitcase and leave.
I know I need to.
It's time
But they
to leave.
but they do the greatest feed updates. I sent you guys one of them. It's hard to live without them now.
See it? That's the love bombing, David. Run. It's a very
Okay.
bad
They're
relationship.
manipulating you.
It's true. It's like we've discussed this. The reason
Wait. How do you trust? How do you trust them with their updates if
Because
how do
they're
you know that
pretty
telling
they're
you the
pretty
truth?
like so and so talked to so and so and said this.
How do you know what they're
there's
leaving
no-
out if they're so
well,
biased for Tucker?
There doesn't appear to be any anything but facts in them. They're very dry. I sent you one. I don't know if you read it, but
Right.
I sent you guys one. And it's very dry. It's very, this one talked, here's what they said. These two talked, here's what they said.
Hmm.
So
Yes.
I don't know.
There's other sites that are as equally unbiased in their retelling of situations. I encourage you to find your
You
own
should just go in there and
safe space.
talk about how much you love T-Core. Just keep it only about that. See what
Yeah.
happens.
Oh, no.
Do that for science.
This
okay?
is
Come back
like
and
the
tell us how
third
it goes.
comment I've made since the beginning of the season. I mean, it's not like I'm in there all the time.
Can you just
Say
pick
it.
a
So
random
negative.
person? Pick
So
a random
negative.
person and back them publicly. Pick a rando in the game. Who is this?
Like
person?
Lee, I could go back
Yeah.
Lee.
Yeah, do it. Go for it. See what happens. Stir the pot. Be the Tucker of that house.
I'm starting to kind of like Mackenzie a little bit. I didn't think she had any game at all, and I don't think she has any social game, but she's playing pretty tough. I mean,
She's done okay in some challenges, but her conversations still lead me to believe that she doesn't know
get it.
what's happening a lot of the times. It's not that she's always off.
and
It's
I
just
know the
that
secret of the curly hair, by the way.
Yeah, but it's
It's not hers. It's a hairpiece that she puts on.
Oh, okay, got it.
And every Thursday she wears it.
she's
Mm.
I don't want to say that she is the Bowie Jane of the group, but there's
I like me some Bowie Jane, so I
There's
can
some,
see
like-
that
there's
that
some
type of player
sensibility
grows on me.
there where it's like
I mean, they're a physical player. They'd probably do better in like a Survivor.
yes that
She'd
would
probably
be
be good
better.
on that
Now,
because then it's more physical, which I think is where she's strong at.
a fun note of interest on today's challenge is that Tucker was up all night with the runs. So no sleep and a bad stomach that he apparently got from Cam because Cam has a virus or something and hasn't been feeling.
Well, they had a big party too because they had their halfway there party and they
Yeah.
blacked it all out and they gave him a bunch of booze and
It could be. And then
Oh,
And Mackenzie was starting her period today and was in a lot of crampy pain. So
Okay,
good for
now
her.
I
Would have
read a
been funny
lot,
if they
and
would have got a
I've
lot
never
of
seen that level of detail.
There you go.
that.
The
It would have
conversations
been really
are abundant in the
Okay,
amount of
okay.
pain she was in.
So over the time that the girls start to sync up, or is that a urban legend?
Probably.
no.
No, they
That's a
probably
real
do.
thing.
That
Yeah.
really
That's a
happens?
probably real thing. Well,
Okay.
just on average, some of
Do
them
you
probably
see
would be
you see how
similar
outnumbered
before they
you
even
are?
went in there, just
You
because there's
go
only
into
so
that
many days.
Facebook page with all of those women.
No,
doing it.
I never asked that on that Facebook page. Are you kidding me?
No,
Don't
I
be
know
so
you didn't.
negative.
I know you didn't
No, it's okay.
ask. I'm just saying, like, you're in the lion's den, buddy.
I'll ask here
Yeah.
in front of whoever's listening in the whole
You
world,
know.
but I'm not going to ask on that
I
Facebook
mean,
page.
just on average, a quarter. Like there would be people that would have been synced up already because there's only 4 weeks to the month, right?
So what you're saying is
So, yeah.
it's really a coincidence. It doesn't like people living in the house don't sync up over years or anything.
Yes, they do.
So it's
they
really
do.
true.
Yes.
It is
Oh,
really
wow.
true.
Okay, I didn't know.
Can confirm.
I'm gonna add
Raised
to,
by a mother with two of my. We had
Yeah.
two sisters in the house,
I'm gonna add to the
and yeah,
interest.
we're
of
all
this.
women, so I can confirm.
The interest to this is that whoever's cycle everyone else syncs up to, whoever's cycle that is,
They're the
that
alpha
is
woman.
The alpha. Yeah. Science dictates.
Really?
I didn't sync
Yep.
with you. You synced to me.
Yep. Yep.
No,
It's-
okay,
it's
so you all don't
irrelevant.
know
I
who that
don't-
is, like instinctively, like
I absolutely know. What are you talking about?
who is the alpha?
There's some
who
social
who
cues
emits
that
the
will-
most? It's just estrogen just pouring out of their skin. Just
Okay,
there's-
I don't know. I don't know
there's
where
usually
how
some
we got here.
cues and, listen, this is all important information if you're going to go into the Big Brother house. Like, half of the people there are going to be women.
I mean, literally not a bad time for Joseph to go and have a date away from them.
Yeah, but they made that tough.
That was so. Couldn't you just be like I would just lay there with like the pillow over my ears and just.
I thought he was going to do like Patrick Swayze when Demi Moore was her, and just like sit and cover his face, and I thought he'd be like singing Henry VIII, "I Am," in his ear really loud.
There's so much to be said about Joseph's 24 hours of confinement that I probably won't talk about on here, but I will probably tell you later. So
or wait on our Facebook page, maybe.
Yeah, Facebook friendly.
Did he? You're not inferring he got individually busy, are you?
Yes.
Oh God.
Anyway.
Oh God.
Anyway,
Listen.
I think Joseph's you were talking about with Tucker and how so much of his game is sort of fake.
He did not get individually busy.
I think Joseph was just fine in that 24-hour confinement with Matt. I really think he could have tuned it out. There was a lot of just for TV time happening there with the.
Well, it wasn't really loud either.
Yeah. Joseph spends a lot of time just meandering into corners and hiding out by himself all the time and says it's his game move to do this. So this is
right. But it is a game move if it's like, I'm trying to keep my mouth shut. I'm going to walk away. That's a game move. And it would be one that I would have to do.
That's the difference.
I have to go ahead and hide my face.
Did he not know where the house was voting?
Secret. You would walk away to keep a secret. He just walks away because he thinks it makes him look mysterious.
Oh.
That's the
I'd
difference.
also have to do it. I would also have to do it because I'm one of those people that whatever it is I'm thinking, you absolutely see it on my face. And if someone was saying something that was cuckoo bananas,
can't hide a secret.
Yeah,
that's
my
a
face would
very
just be
true statement.
I could just see you back there being like.
I'd be like. So yes, I would
especially
have to go
if it's something you
corner.
don't like, because you have the "F you in the face" look. If someone's saying something you don't like, you're like,
I'm just super paying attention. I'm just paying attention. Hyper focused. Not hyper focused. So
what else
I don't know. I'm not faulting Joseph. I mean, whatever. He's doing his thing. It's fine. But I will say this.
He's good at falling. That's pretty fun. It's fun to watch his weird body movements whenever he falls or stumbles. I'll give him that.
Okay.
He's like a marionette. It's very strange the way he
really.
Moves. Yes, it's strange.
Maybe it's like some weird a modern dance thing he's got.
It's the power is in the mustache.
He used to be a member of flash mobs often, and he just,
Okay,
are
can
flash
we
mobs
talk?
still a thing?
No,
I don't know, but I could definitely see Joseph partaking.
absolutely.
100%.
Joseph, Dan, they'd be good in a flash mob. Um,
They would really
so
commit.
let me ask you both this: was that 2-hour episode a waste of an episode?
But why did it have to be 2 hours? It didn't seem like 2 hours of content necessarily.
I didn't feel like I was watching 2 hours, so maybe it wasn't a waste. I don't know.
Oh, he has
He's
censored
frozen.
himself.
He's frozen.
I
We can still hear you.
don't know. It was like I thought it was okay. Was that just because they wanted to give the instigator story some time? I think so.
Yeah,
I
a
thought it
little
was
bit
so
of that, maybe.
that whole storyline was interesting in that America picked him. America, you're dumb sometimes. I love you, but you're dumb sometimes, and it shouldn't have been him. And every single thing he did was like blowing up in his face.
That part was
He
pretty
made
fun, actually.
it was he makes Rabina cry. Then the other one, it's like he's making everyone thinks it's Angela. He's like, oh shoot, 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 and then tries to go and warn her from the goodness of his heart, and that just all backfires.
I can't I don't. Here's the thing. We can say Tucker's not a great sport when he loses. He gets a bad attitude sometimes. But what I can say is that the conversation he had with her and telling her, hey, they're talking about you and this is what they're suspecting. Or, hey, I want you to know so you can get out ahead of this and protect your game.
Right.
In that moment, the fact that he didn't ever lose his cool with her when she sat there at the pool and in the bathroom saying, but I don't believe you.
Yeah.
I got to give it to him.
That's why I'm saying he's weird. He's multiple personality, right? Like, how is he able? How does he have
He's
that
furious
skill
at
level?
T-Core for not doing what he wanted, but Angela can nutter all she wants, and he's cool.
He wasn't.
And how does he keep his cool with her?
He made a smart ass comment, and then he pretty much moved past T-Core. I mean, it wasn't like an all week thing.
No, he was walking around the house telling everyone he was sad, he was hurt, I asked for one little favor after I was a pawn, and I gave her $5,000. Everything's transactional with the man.
But what was great is that the response is generally like, "Yeah, you volunteered to be on the block."
I don't know that it's transactional for him. I think it's more a situation like Jamie had pointed out. He's done all of these things for certain people to trust him, and yet they still don't
trust him.
Because he's not trustworthy. He's obviously not trustworthy. You can tell by the way he's playing the game. I wouldn't trust him either.
But the people that he made a deal with, he has up to this point been completely loyal to them. He's been loyaler to Joseph than Joseph has been to him. He's been more loyal to Rubina really than Rubina has even been to him, because all week it was an emotional game.
He's definitely more loyal to Angela.
It's you just get thrown for a loop with him because he acts like such a baby about losing. That's what you're
the smirky face. It's the smirky face too. You how do you take that seriously? And he says something and he has that face, you go like, is that real?
Well, and then the whole false humility thing. Oh, it's just a game and I love them all. That felt insincere. That didn't feel real. It's kind of like, well, I would tell you what I really think, but I want people on TV to like me, so I'm going to say what I think you want to hear.
I mean, you're probably not wrong.
I'm going to disagree. I think it was more like, I don't think it was any more insincere than anybody who says that leaving the house when they're irritated with people. But
I don't know. I think he brings insincerity to a whole nother level.
I think it's very, you know what? It was fun, but I spent a lot of time just being really bored and I wanted to go back to my dog. So I'm not that mad that I'm not in the game. I think that's the vibe you're getting from him, because truly he spends hours staring at this picture of his dog and talking to him and saying that he wanted to go home because that's who Ziggy is. When he's like, I'm coming home, Ziggy. Like he just wanted to leave. He was done. He was so bored.
His animal therapy.
I don't know. He strikes me as one of those people who say what they have to emotionally manipulate the person they're talking to. And then he does it so well, he really starts to believe it himself. He forgets that he's just manipulating him.
I don't feel like he's that deep in the villain. I just think he's immature. That's it. That's all I just feel like he's immature.
I mean,
I will predict there is no showmance out of the house.
Really?
I think that's all the show.
I don't know.
And if there is, I will recant on a future
I haven't seen him be teary-eyed about anything at any point when everyone else was boo-hooing. This is the first time I think that we actually saw him get a little misty. So I think he does like her.
He does. He is friends with previous players or former players, right?
Yeah.
So it could be just that he has seen what the aftermath of the show is.
True. Yeah.
And so in his head going in there, he's been coached a little bit of like, hey,
prepare yourself for this.
CBS likes this or CBS doesn't like that. If you want to get in, if you want to get a lot of airtime, this and not that. And then also how not to burn your bridges. Like if you do these certain things, they'll love you and they'll ask you back. You'll be back again,
Yeah, I could definitely see him getting put on the challenge pretty quickly.
Yeah.
I don't even question
He'd be good on Traitors, actually.
Yeah?
He'd be fun on Traitors. He'd be really...
I'd be like, nobody's listening to me.
And nobody's trusting me.
Nobody's doing what I'm telling them to do. He was fun. I think it's going to get a little boring without him there, to be perfect.
A little bit. Someone else will pop up, though, because now somebody else will get the spotlight.
I think this is the night we saw the game start to be played. I think the preamble's over. Now the game is on. There's some point in the season where every year it feels like it changes. It stops
like shifts
being
gear a little bit.
I'm voting with the house. I don't want blood on my hands to now we're playing.
Yeah, I'm thinking that Chelsea is a front runner right now. Do you think she's going to be do you think she's going to be the new target, or do you think that they're going to focus in on
I think they'll focus on Cam as a physical threat.
But okay, if we looked at what's the alliance, and it's still loosey goose alliance that's left in Tucker's wake: Rubina, T-Core, Chemo, Joseph, maybe Joseph. I don't know how loyal Joseph's going to be to them. Joseph is the guy who's just the opportunist, so I think he would jump ship.
Well, so is Quinn.
And Angela, if she sees you guys talking, she'll be in.
Yeah, I did not include Quinn in that.
No, I'm just saying he's an opportunist. He's not in that alliance. Yeah.
No. So now does that mean that T-Core and Chemo are on the outs? Are they and Rubina?
I think a lot depends on who wins HOH.
I don't think.
And by the way, we did accurately. We all wanted T-Core, and she won. So that was kind of.
Isn't that weird?
It would be interesting. Had to see where the loyalty lay, and unfortunately, she tried to make it work, but
I still am sticking to my crackpot theory. I still think she's a twin, and there's.
I think it's way too far in the game for that.
Well, no, I know, and you say they would have revealed it by now, except for the fact that they've always dropped the theme by this point in the season, but it seems to be going strong.
Yeah, but she's making a big announcement next week that's going to change the game. What do you think?
And there's the big announcement.
Nah.
There it is. The twin twist.
I doubt it. I'm doubting it highly.
I mean,
highly.
That's my theory.
I would have thought they would have told us within the first 3 weeks, because then we would have been shocked, and then we would have been watching.
Yep.
But if they told us now, it would be like the talk of reality TV.
It would be the talk, but we would miss all of the times where knowing.
Well, no, they can do a montage and go back and show how you should have seen it, like the Sixth Sense, kind of.
Yeah, it's not going to happen. That would require CBS to plan things and have a good delivery.
Well, I have to say, I think Big Brother's better produced than the other show we watch. So
I say that about Australian Survivor. That's a great
I'm not talking about that show.
I think
I'm talking about the U.S. version.
I think that Chelsea is going to be the force to be reckoned with at this point.
Oh, I think she's got to be the smartest player who's actually playing. Maybe the smartest person left in the house.
I think she's the most well-rounded player right now, because she does know to be quiet at the right times and
Right.
spark the conversations with the
One
right people. I think she can kind of do all right in challenges.
and one of you
I
pointed out
just
when she was HOH, she did her HOH and then she fell
Yep.
right back into the background. And that's brilliant play.
Well, and her and Cam both were, especially her. I mean, now listen, all the crap talk on CBS, giving their own edits on things aside. This week, I was curious because Quinn really kind of feels like he's the guy who's flipped everything on Tucker this week. He kind of thinks this flip was his doing, when in fact it was Chelsea. Chelsea was putting in all the legwork and made the first moves. I'm glad to see that they gave her that credit. But I am curious to see, because we have somebody like Quinn. I don't see Quinn working with Chelsea past this. I feel like the two of them might be maybe kind of focused on each other.
Some of them don't have a lot of options, though.
I don't think Quinn really cares. No, he probably does, but I
think everybody wants to have
Cam
one person that they can.
Yeah,
trust.
Cam's won one competition, but how he's won one. Chelsea's won what, 2? Because she got the HOH, right? And then did she get veto or an AI? She got an AI, right? Was that it?
Mackenzie's got 2 AIs.
Not Mackenzie. Chelsea.
I don't think, did Chelsea win an AI?
No, I thought she won a veto.
Maybe it was a veto.
I don't remember.
The one with the elephant.
Too many competitions this year. We love it, but it makes it so confusing.
The superhero elephant competition is the one that she won, right? With the words, and it was
yes.
Where
they had to practically,
Yeah. So
they were like,
announce it over the loudspeaker.
Would someone please win?
I can't be like, oh, she's a comp beast, because they just had to tell them how to do it.
Speaking of the competition, we had the one this week of the who's out first picks a card and then whatever. And
the white elephant, right?
Okay, that's a good name for it. So Tucker could have kept the money.
Yep.
Right? And he didn't. Was that smart or not smart?
That was smart.
Well, he wanted something in return. I know this because he said so like 27 times on the show.
But he knew he was going to get a punishment, right?
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't all that awful. His punishment of the 3 was the easiest.
I was going to say, I loved his punishment.
Yeah. But the thing is, again, we are talking about, I think I've said this a bunch of times about Tucker. I am in no way, shape, or form a professional person who can legally diagnose somebody, but my money's on the fact that he has ADHD and ODD.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
But again, give me something to do. I don't care. Give me a punishment. I need something.
Oh my gosh. If they said, okay, your punishment is you have to, I'd be like, oh, can I?
I get to do something.
Okay. No. I get to look through the entire encyclopedia set. Bring it. They got nothing else to do.
Did Angela get a little dramatic for having to walk back and forth and pick up ping pong balls?
Let's see.
3.
Survey
2.
says Angela is dramatic about everything. Ding.
Yeah. Oh. Now, I don't claim to be a psychiatrist, but she's nutters.
Yes.
When
she's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
When she was getting blasted by the frozen Pepto-Bismol.
Oh my God.
It was so good. God.
Now, don't get me wrong. That's a long punishment over the night.
The sky is turning blue.
That's a lot of walking, and it's very monotonous. But the worst part of all of it would be having to strip down out of that jumper into the cold slime. That part
how many times?
That part would totally suck, because that's uncomfortable. Nobody likes the cold, but everybody was out there really supportive. But still,
it's Southern California. It's not that cold.
Yeah, it's not like it's 40 degrees out, right?
Yeah.
But they were out there. They stayed out there with her. She does have a little, it's almost as if she's.
Do they have to stay out with her, or can they just go to bed and say, "Hell,
they don't. Yeah, Tucker and Joseph did not stay out there.
Joseph was in his 24-hour room. Yeah. That's why.
Now, here's the thing.
And Tucker and her were beefing.
I kind of feel like this is why I would just not do good in this house with Angela, short of standing up for her when her snacks were eaten. Is that?
Oh, that's right. They showed her eating her cheese, and she was like,
Take that, Brooklyn.
Bye, Brooklyn.
I saw this thing on TikTok, and it was a dude dressed as Angela reenacting that. And it was he had a wig on, and it was hilarious.
He was just laying
and
on
then
the
they
couch
had
crying.
then like he played Brooklyn too, and he was doing different rigs. It was hilarious.
That sounds like it's probably pretty
Brooklyn-
good.
And I don't know how to
Brooklyn
like
just
on
going,
TikTok. I don't know how to like tag you guys or anything because I'm
It
like,
might actually be funnier than the real situation because I'm so like all the time with her. But for realsies, she is become sort of, and like I said, this is something that would irritate me in the house. I would notice it, and there would probably be DRs that involve me bitching about it. But what everybody treats her like she's somebody's like little sister, like really, really younger little sister.
Yes, they
Right.
coddle her like she's 12, and
Yes.
she's older than all of them.
Yeah, it gets
Very
to be
weird.
yeah, I wouldn't be nice. I wouldn't be nice. America would hate me.
Oh, the twerking.
No, not the twerking, Christy, no. Yeah, that was a
twerking.
thing. That was a thing.
It was almost as bad as the freaking singing for like 7 minutes. What the hell was that?
Okay, the singing, fine, whatever. The
Yeah,
twerking
for
was
30
far worse.
seconds, but it went on really long. It was like, okay, this is like the 9th verse.
That's because CBS likes to draw things out. They really do. Which is funny because they're not allowed to sing.
Twerker.
Yeah, but then we've got twerking, the queen of twerking, the master of twerking, the let's never do that again of twerking.
Yes.
But she's the cool mom, Jamie. She's gonna teach those girls how to twerk now.
She was good on The Price is Right.
I did like Mackenzie being like, no. No. I mean, see, Mackenzie was like, oh, it's Angela. For sure. The instigator's Angela. Because who would brag about that?
Who would brag? Yeah, that's funny. So that means
Did any of them ever pin it on Tucker?
No.
I wonder if they're and I do believe Julie said that they're never going to tell, like while they're in.
And it's not the instigator. It was hacker. They were called it. There's a hacker. Remember? Yeah.
And
which is funny that they had named it something like somebody's doing this. It's a hacker.
And
no, what's really funny is that there's a really obvious name to call that thing as being the hacker, and they chose to instead.
And CBS was like, no, the instigator.
It's so obvious. Why did you go with? Okay, whatever.
Because I'm pretty sure Tucker is the instigator in his real life. Like
they nailed the firewall, so that works. They can only get one of you correct.
I do love the fact that they were like, you can't tell anybody. Finally tell them.
But it should have been like, if you tell anybody you're not playing in the next HOH, there should have been a severe consequence.
Yeah,
he's pretty good at not telling, though.
I think that they alluded to the fact that if you tell anybody, you don't win the money.
Well,
and I think they did that vote wrong too. It should have been, vote for whether or not you think his rule was effective, because of course they're going to say, yeah, I would give anybody $20,000 if I had an opportunity. It's not my money.
Not my money.
Yeah, exactly. CBS.
So that they had to know that's how the vote would come. Angela would have gotten the money.
CBS was like, come on, 5,000.
The crazy ladies on Facebook would have voted for Angela to get the money. Because
we could just completely go full conspiracy theory on this, guys, and just be like, here's the deal. You're going to make $20,000. We need you there at least 4 weeks. And then he's probably like, I'm on it. Let's go. I love puzzles.
Could be. He's an actor.
It could be.
He's so good at
acting. He's so good at acting.
Well, he's so good at acting. So we'll miss him just for that, because again, interesting person.
He made the game interesting. I'll give him that. He did.
Yeah. I still can't. I would love to know what his birthday is. What zodiac sign is he? Because
I don't know, but we have 7 seconds that we could figure that out while we cut over to a commercial break.
And the commercial begins now. And we're back.
And we are back. We didn't figure it out. We didn't figure it out.
Hi. I am Googling furiously over here to see if I can find something.
What's your sign, Tucker? What are you, buddy?
I want to know.
What else did we
I
have
know.
going on in the game this
Ooh,
week?
October 17th. Does that make
Oh,
him?
he's a Libra.
Is that Libra?
I go how you know that. I wouldn't.
Hmm.
I like know my own sign.
I
and
know
that's
it because his birthday's 2 days before mine. We are both
Oh,
Libra.
okay.
Oh.
That's how I know. I just am familiar with the date.
So you don't know all of them.
I
like
know
by
some
heart.
of them.
I know most all of them, except I always get right in the fall. I get a little wonky.
But you know what? I must say it does kind of fit with his idea of like always seeking for justice and everything has to be fair. And I do something for you, you better do something for
I
me.
gave
That's
you
how we
money.
do
You
this.
should not put me up. Yes, that
Even
kind
though
of does
I
go with
told
it. And
you
being but
I could
that's
have
where
gone
the
up for
butthurt
you.
comes from.
Yep. Yeah. See?
And that's where
Okay.
I had a good idea and you blew my idea. No, that's not fair. I wanted to do my idea. And you did your own thing.
Listen, don't
That's
harsh the
stupid.
creativity
Mm,
of the
yeah.
Libra man. Don't do it. Just
okay.
don't do it. That's where their power is. It's their chi.
Okay. Yep, I can see it.
That and
Interesting dude.
also the power also is in stupid hats, which he had plenty of. The man was always wearing a stupid hat.
My husband came out of the bedroom while I was watching TV. While I was watching, he goes, "Oh, Tron's playing."
It was that shot when they were getting ready, like they go to the commercial break, and it's got Angela and MK and
Tron.
and Tucker all standing there, and they're all in like different shades of blue, and they're very
Blue, yes.
looking.
I go, "What is that
Weird.
planned that they're all wearing that blue?"
It was a little weird. It was a little creepy.
You
The
know-
vibe was weird. You know who looked great though? Miss Julie.
She did.
In that tomato red, like
Yeah.
it really looked. Yeah, yeah.
She was
yeah.
all
See, I thought that was more
summery
orange than
looking
red. So interesting.
Yeah, it
It
was.
was like that tomato red, right? It's like an orangey red. Yeah.
Orange
Yeah.
based. That's a
Eh,
warm based red.
Yeah.
And she
She wasn't overly accessorized. I thought she was
nope.
on it
And
tonight.
she looked like she was just like ready to go to like she had that like summer sundress situation going
Very
on.
cute.
She was like gonna go to a picnic or something, maybe.
That's right. It's exactly what I thought. She looks like she's going on a picnic. I hope she made me a
And
good
she's like,
sandwich.
it's
That's
like,
what I was
oh, it's the
thinking.
company picnic where everyone brings their families, you know. Like that.
Except for her.
She's
Oh,
got to
no,
keep
what am I
Lasso.
talking
She's
about?
got to keep Lasso away from all the women. Oh, was that out
What
loud?
am I talking about?
Her
Yeah,
family's
they're not going to
allowed
those.
go.
No company picnic for them. They're going to a church picnic. I forgot.
Yes, that's where she goes. The church.
Love one another.
Love one another.
Yeah. And no, she looks real cute.
No.
I
When you going back to Tucker's outfit for a minute, I had to flash back to Todd Bridges in the Teletubbies outfit. And I just because think about if the wrong person would have wore that, it would not have been good.
It would not have been great.
Or it would have been amazing. I mean,
Rabina liked it.
Yep. Rabina is so
very
tiny in comparison to everyone
She
else
really
in that
is.
house. I sometimes because when the DRs and stuff, you can't really tell how
Yeah.
tiny she is. But when then you see the long shots where she's standing next to them, and it's like she's literally half of Tucker's size.
Yeah, Lee is her people. Lee is literally her only contemporary.
If you put her next to MJ, it's even more. It's
well,
like
yeah,
Yep.
she's taller than most of the guys.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
I think
like
she
these
is taller
two-
than every guy left in the house but Cam.
So is there going to be
Yeah.
a competition that is great for somebody who's so much smaller than everybody else? Because we've seen
Well,
that
that's
in
usually
the
the
house
wall.
before.
The wall,
That's
right?
usually the wall,
Aren't they
isn't
do
it?
usually the small people do good on the wall, as I recall.
Yeah, but nobody's good at the wall anymore for some reason that I don't understand.
CBS hates it.
Yeah.
Well,
nobody's
CBS
good
is
Oh,
tilting
no,
it more
earthquake.
and greasing it
Yeah,
more because they want to go
earthquake,
home.
Shake them off.
at shake them or just push them.
Poke them. There's like little holes behind them.
Push 'em.
Poke them in the back. Ugh. Jump them off.
Well, I don't know. It was a crazy week. It's because, Tucker had lots of things to do. Of course, it made it crazy. We got to see a lot more of T-Core, what she was kind of thinking. She doesn't have a terrible head for the game. It's just her execution sometimes, I think, is a little bit iffy.
Taka. That's what she called him, Taka.
Oh, yeah. So her accent just boggles my mind.
But she doesn't always
can't-
have it.
Yeah.
Which is why
No,
she's...
it's a weird.
It's a strange combination. It's not one you
Yeah.
feel. Like it's not, yeah. It's like some words sound very one way, and then yeah, it's crazy. But
Because she's a
Wait,
twin.
wait, wait. Is her twin Kator?
No.
no, I love it. Corti. It's Corti.
But there's pictures out on Instagram of she's actually like got another sister too, because there's pictures of there's 3 of them in the pictures. I don't think they're triplets though, but maybe they are.
Maybe there's 3 of them playing the game, David. Maybe you were
That
wrong
one. Then
after
I would
all.
have to make it. I'd have to make new
It's a
banners
triplet twist.
then. So
It's a tri-twist. You gotta have to make new banners. Let's try twist. If they're twins, I'm calling triplets. I'm just gonna say, if we're
Yeah, why stop with twins?
if we're putting our
trip
money
twist.
down on twins, I'm gonna ride it all the way. Full house triplets.
okay.
I would like somebody, I would like one of those ladies in there because there's several ladies in there who have naturally curly hair. And I want one of them to grab Quinn and give him a deep conditioner.
I know. I'm like, get this guy a bowl to dip his hair
He needs
in.
some curl cream.
Yep.
He needs some things.
Help it out. Help the
It
hair out.
Just get a haircut, dude. It looks silly.
David showing his guy with curly hair bias.
Here's the
bias,
deal.
yes.
Here's the deal with curly hair. Here's one thing about curly hair, okay? The shorter you have it, the curlier it is.
Yes.
So it could have been one of those things where I'm going to grow it because it's not as kinky if I let it grow longer.
because it'll
The
stretch
weight
out, yeah.
starts to pull it.
But if it's short,
And
it's probably
so-
a much tighter,
so-
puffier curl.
And he probably has like an afro if it's too short. Do you know
He
what I mean?
might. Yeah.
This is probably the way for him to like keep the bulk of it like long, like down lower away from his head.
It's pretty
I don't
silly.
know.
That's what it is. It's silly.
I mean, it is, but still, I'm
I'm with you though.
Fine,
Let's
it's
you know
whatever.
what? There's always some crazy. We're getting about maybe what two more weeks, and then somebody's gonna give somebody a terrible haircut. That's the rule, right?
They start to remember that one year there was a hairdresser in there, and one of the rooms was a beauty salon.
Yes.
You remember that?
I think we're creeping in at that place now. Was it Tiffany that gave Derek X the terrible haircut? I think that's who. Yeah, I think that's who it was. He had a bad haircut for a hot minute.
But I mean, it just grows back. It's not a big deal. It's
That's
fine.
the great thing.
Or like
about-
braid his hair for him
Yep, do something.
or
It's
something.
a crazy
Because he is
world.
clogging up that pool. I'm just saying.
And the shower probably.
In the shower.
His hair
There
is
was-
always wet, so he is like literally in the pool or the shower all
There
the time.
was a
right?
rumor
Well-
he was gonna wear a skirt. He was gonna wear Rabina's skirt to the. It was
Yeah,
like
he was
running-
wearing it this afternoon.
Yeah, and so they thought he was gonna wear it tonight.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
He was wearing really short shorts. Did you see that? They were like almost like running shorts.
I usually don't look at dudes like that, but no, it didn't grab me.
That's
Oh, you
not.
missed
I
it.
just happened to notice. Here's how I noticed because his upper thigh is significantly wider.
his tan line has got some pretty.
Yeah, there was a
obvious-
tan line. I think that's what like drew the eye. But you know,
Well, who
he's
do we?
athletic,
Who do
but
we
he's
want to see?
he's smaller.
Who do we want HOH in? There's no updates or anything
Well,
yet.
who's does everyone have their player left still?
Yes.
Yes.
Because I'm Cam and you're
I'm
Who? Help me.
T4 and she's Quinn.
Quinn, the mighty Quinn.
And Tigor and Quinn. Yeah, and
A Quinn HOH would be fun right now. I could get behind that.
well, it'd make
I
you talk
wanted
to
Joseph
us.
HOH. I wanted Joseph HOH because he's
Oh, give him an actual 24 hours to himself without freaking crazy eyes in the room with him. I will say I did pull some of those fun facts out at people at work today. Minds were blown at the first number that has an A in it is 1,000. They were trying to figure it out. Yeah,
there
they
was
were.
some good facts. Hey, I think it's important that I do mention this before we cut all of the Tucker talk. That is
Okay.
one thing that Tucker was saying a lot this week, which is kind of silly, but it's a fun shout out where he was like, "I'm here to break the first player in curse," and yeah, like he was really adamant that that's what he wanted to do.
Was he the first player in?
He was, yeah.
God dang it.
Just don't do it.
Also, isn't there a curse on the person who wears the unitard?
Yes, and also, isn't there a curse on the person that goes, I could be a pawn?
Yes, and isn't there a curse on the person who wins money, regardless of whether you give it away?
And
Because pawns go home, stupid people.
isn't there a curse on having a showmance?
And then all of those things came together in 1 week to just make Tucker explode.
Well, there's also a
Sorry, Tucker.
curse on putting yourself too out there, winning too many competitions,
Yeah.
being
And
too
Mercury
dominant
went
in the
direct
house.
today, so the curses were falling on him. Sorry,
Left and
Tucker.
right, left and right. The house of cards that came across.
And yet he only went home by 1 vote. I can't even understand, other than Rubina, why anybody would have voted to keep him.
Because he wasn't really, at this point, he was kind of good for Joseph's game and kind of good for Tikor. Sorry.
Yeah, it's like, oh, it's a bigger threat than me. People
I
are
mean,
going to
they
continue to
may be
focus on them.
screwing themselves of never being able to get him out in the long run, but for right
This
now,
is true. That is the gamble. Because if you don't get him out and he rides to the end, then he's winning.
Yeah, somebody who's won that much and you get him in that position, you got to take him out.
yeah,
Right, you have to.
I mean, anyone who's a fan of the game would have said that.
But short memories are short memories, and the reality is he didn't win veto this week, and he didn't win the AI, and they're probably like, oh, maybe he's not as big of a threat as I thought. I need him around. People just do crazy.
No, I don't think that was it.
People just
because
do
other
crazy
people
things.
remembered that. Oh no, we have to take him out now while we can.
Well,
Like,
some
seriously.
people do. Not the ones that they have final twos. Not the three
And
people. He has
honestly,
a
some of
final
them just
two.
want to be protected. Probably wanted to be protected by him.
That's just it. I mean, even
So-
Cam probably, really played with it, being as that he's like the next most athletic person, like looking in the house. So
Well, if you were going for like traditional,
Yeah.
athletic.
but
I'll tell
Mackenzie did kind of, it's good she won.
She's
great
very
for her game
athletic
to
as
win.
well. And Quinn is very athletic as well. Like he plays a lot of sports.
But
So
Quinn is not
Mackenzie's
athletic.
he's just small. Who?
Quinn?
Yes, he is.
Yes, he is.
Yes, he is. He was in his bio about how he plays all these different sports. And
Oh, he may play
he's
them,
like
but he doesn't play them well.
Well, that's being athletic. It doesn't mean you're
No.
great at
Actually,
athletic.
playing them doesn't mean you're an athlete. Trust me.
Well,
I didn't say he was athlete. I said he was
If you've ever
athletic,
seen me play basketball,
meaning
you would
like
not.
he's going.
You would not confuse what I do with being athletic.
Listen, Angela is not playing on a soccer team,
That's true.
but
Super
Quinn
true.
was. So that's
And long distance running, right?
that.
Wasn't
Oh
that
yeah, he was doing long distance running too. He just has more endurance. So I mean, he's a smallish guy, but he's not. He does not look out of shape.
Yeah, he doesn't have
Okay.
he doesn't a lack of a.
I think he's way better shape than Chemo.
Yeah.
Well, and Joseph probably.
And Joseph.
Probably, yep.
I mean, really, the only physical male threat left in the house is Cam.
Cam and
In my opinion,
Cam and Quinn, and then
I don't think
Quinn
Quinn's
Mackenzie.
I
I
don't
think
think
the
he's
three
a,
of
I
them
don't think
are
he's
the-
a physical threat, but we
he
can
might
disagree.
he might not be a physical threat, but a lot
As
of
the other ones start to go away, yeah. he
I think
starts to become-
Mackenzie could break Quinn in half.
Well, here's the
Depends
thing.
on what it is.
Here's the thing. We're talking about Big Brother. We're not talking about Survivor. 99% of the challenges in Big Brother are endurance. Like if you're talking about physical challenges, are endurance. They're not weight training. They're not heavy lifting.
No.
It's usually an endurance comp.
Sure.
We haven't seen him compete outside of HOH competitions. He's only been up on the block one time where he had to compete to save himself, but he's done okay in the HOH challenge. He was right next to Tucker on the wall.
He had the upgrade right away
Yeah.
week 1
Yeah, so
because he was able to, and he beat Mackenzie in that, right? Oh no, he beat Leah in that. Who did he beat in the?
Leah. Yeah.
Yeah, Leah.
So at the end of where we're at in the house, yes, he and Cam might be the most athletic males in the house. I would definitely say
Dudes.
Mackenzie is probably the most athletic female. I think
I
those
think she always was the most athletic
I would
female.
agree. Yeah, I would agree. But that's the three that, as far as comp wins could come in. Angela's won comps, but Angela hasn't won physical comps. So
And I feel like some of the comps that she's won early on were because no one else wanted that comp. They're like, I don't want that one.
remember how
I don't want to
long
be
ago it
HOH
is?
week 1.
Like,
Sorry.
Years and years ago when we first saw her in the spinning chair, we didn't know. We had no idea what we were about to walk into.
I just can't even believe she's still there.
Yeah,
He's like,
it's a treat. So okay, HOH. Who do we want winning?
okay.
I
This?
so
want Joseph.
Who's due for it?
Joseph.
I want
You say
Joseph because
Joseph?
I just want to know what the guy's about.
Yeah.
I think he's a
Joseph
complete
would be good.
weird dude, but
Well,
Yeah.
that would be like a shift, right? Yeah, so he'd have to show some cards. So that'd be interesting. He'd get more screen time. So maybe we
I don't
get
want
more,
chemo
like,
because it'll
what's
be a
going
whole
on.
week of crying, and I'm just
Well,
not
if it
up
was
for that.
chemo, it's like
Whether
T
he's
Core being
HOH or
HOH again.
yeah, and whether he was HOH or not, it could still be a week of crying.
Well, fair.
Yeah.
Everyone in that house has a tendency to cry about things, except for Chelsea. I don't think I've seen Chelsea cry a whole lot.
Yeah, I
Chelsea,
think in
I like
Joseph-
Chelsea a lot.
Yeah, I think she's about the only one.
I wish I would have picked her now, but
You snooze, you lose, buddy.
Yeah, I like her. She's likable.
Yep.
I think it would be really cool to see either Joseph. I think you made good arguments for him.
Yeah.
But I think Quinn's probably due for something, another win. Just like thinking like who would win or who could win.
Yeah.
T-Core can't play, but
oh, Mackenzie could win. That would be an interesting HOH because she's not really aligned with anyone.
Yeah, I would rather.
Yeah,
not have
that's
Mackenzie HOH. Mackenzie is going to just. Mackenzie's not going to. Oh, I could be wrong, but I do not feel if Mackenzie had an HOH that the strategy would be there for her own game. Her HOH would just be somebody else's. It wouldn't be.
Do you feel the same way about Lee?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Who's Lee? Who's that?
That's fair.
I
And
think she
Rabina,
would-
what about Rabina? She's not exactly a strategic mastermind either.
No, but Rubina does have one thing going for her, and that could be a revenge streak. So, you know,
this is for
Which is always a nice theme when it
It'll give
rears
her-
its head.
yeah, it'll give
Is
her,
it?
a goal at least.
a purpose.
A purpose, yes, a purpose, if you will. I don't know. I'm not sure how she would do, but Mackenzie, Liam, I'm pretty sure if Leo had an HOH, she would try to get Quinn out because she really does not like him at this point, and it's sad because he
I
likes
do
her.
why, so I'm good with that.
Yeah, but
Leah probably she's used to everyone in her regular life of all the men paying attention to her, and she just really hasn't got that this season. So she's really, and then the one that is like he's in the friend zone apparently.
the fun
That was
part,
cringy.
For the record, I didn't say that, Colleen, or if any of the broads
no,
are listening.
none of
I
us
did not
said it.
say that.
No. None of us said it. CBS said it. They literally
They actually put a graphic up that said in the
exactly.
friend zone.
That's the only reason I said it. That's the
it
only
was
reason I brought it up.
stamped. It was a stamped thing.
It was like a
Yeah.
big CBS thing on the screen.
If
So,
Leah had an HOH, it will be really funny for the live feed podcasters. That will be humorous. As I could imagine, every time someone comes in to talk to the HOH and they kind of say, what they're thinking, want to see what the HOH is thinking, that whole thing. That's going to be hilarious if it were her, because everyone would go in there and she'd be like, so tell me what you're thinking. And then within 3 seconds, make every conversation about herself. So that could be fun. I don't know. But as far as the game goes, I kind of want to see Quinn. I want to see Quinn get it.
I mean, he has actually won things. So I feel like, given the people who can't play and are gone, he could win. But
I am with you though. The
Depends what
Joseph
it
one would be interesting
that would
because
be-
he's gonna have to pick a side.
You know what would be interesting? I got to say,
unless Camp
from
comes
a
back and does
chaotic
it.
evil aspect, an Angela HOH would be fun.
Just
and plus,
make them
the
all
crazy
pay.
ladies on Facebook would lose their crap.
I'm gonna
Okay,
say,
would
this
be-
is the first
Yes,
thing.
it would. Tucker's
the
gone,
first
and now they have a whole week of Angela. Extra Angela. Oh my gosh. Okay, so she would pump. She would be so excited. She would be so crazy over the top if she won again. And now it would be, that's for Tucker. That's for Tucker. She would be too. Her and
Oh my
Rabina are
God,
going to be
he would.
hugging.
This is for you, Tucker. You're right. Oh my God. No.
So that
Make
would be
it
kind of
stop.
funny.
Make it stop. Could you just get laryngitis?
I think it would be. I think it'd be super funny. She becomes the HOH. Everyone's so sick of her that no one even goes up to the room to talk to her. They just let her stay up there.
Has that ever happened where like nobody
don't-
goes and talks to the HOH? I don't think so.
Yeah,
It
I
has.
mean,
Who was it?
but
It was a female.
it's not
Was
necessarily that
it?
they won't talk to
Was it
them
Taylor?
or
No.
Was it
no,
Taylor?
no,
I
no. I
swear,
think Taylor
recently in
was
the
all
last
right.
couple of years, there was a female that hardly anyone went up. It
I
wasn't
don't.
nobody, but like hardly anyone hung out up there.
No,
It was a
but there's
woman.
never been a group where they all just say, you know what, we're not even going to campaign with her. We're not
Yeah,
talking
just
or
like
him, right?
whatever. Let them do what
That
they're
would be
gonna do.
funny.
If
You
Angela
just
was
like
in that
boycott,
HOH,
whatever.
if Angela was in that HOH, everyone
Could
would
you
be in her
imagine if
ear.
they all
Everyone would be in her
decided
ear.
they're not going to talk to her about it, and nobody, hey, you
Not
want to
gonna
talk
talk
about
to her.
game? No,
Not
no,
gonna
I don't.
campaign. Not be asked
No,
who's
no one's
going
going to
up.
campaign. No one's going to nothing.
Nobody's gonna
She
ask
would
to not be
lose
put
her
up there.
mind.
Yeah.
She would.
No one's gonna
And
beg to be saved.
Yeah.
Whatever.
but that's the thing. That's why they will cater to her, and everyone will be up there and be like, you know,
Oof.
you thought that everybody was over emotional and it was silly with
Okay.
T-Core winning HOH. Like,
When Angela gets going, she reminds me. It's like she's a character on a Christopher Guest movie.
oh my God,
She's that cuckoo bananas, right? She's
yeah.
like like Best in Show or Mighty Wind or
She doesn't
like
feel
she
like a
seems like one of those
real,
cuckoo bananas characters.
except for everything that she
She's
says
showing
is
her dog.
everything she says is delivered at the same velocity of like Sally Fields at the, like the you really love me. Like it's so much. It's so
Oh
much.
no, she's more Sally Struthers.
Oh, the
Oh my
begging
God.
tonight
Yeah.
was just
With the
impossible.
whining, the whining thing.
Anyway,
Listen, you know what? I love it. I love it's your dream. I love that you're giving it all. You're not giving up. But like, we do not have to do this. We don't have to do this at this volume or at this pitch. Like,
at
please.
least she's not boring, and at least Tucker wasn't boring.
You know
No,
what?
I give you that.
Yeah, I think she's.
And we thought there were bigger weirdos in the house, but no.
I think a lot of what she does is for show, but I think the majority of what we see is just somebody who's just herself, just who she is, like it or not. That's
Just
who
a
she
house
is.
full of neurodivergent people, just like not understanding boundaries or how they come
So true.
across,
Or
like,
secrets, or how,
or secrets. Whatever.
how to
It's
just not
fine.
tell a secret, what have you, or strategy, or any of that stuff. What is that? They all love puzzles, though. I'll tell you, puzzles and each other.
Before we
only if you
wrap up, I
understand the
wanted
rules of
to
puzzle.
just mention that for those of us who watch Australian Survivor, Noelle is competing in the Paralympics this week. So it may already be over.
Really?
Noelle,
from Australian Survivor. So
Nice.
Noelle was not on Australian Survivor. She was
Shed
on
US
Noelle.
Survivor?
She was,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Well, Noelle from US Survivor is competing in the Paralympics this week.
Yeah,
Nice.
she's.
It may already be over. I'm not sure because I
she's
saw it a
butt
couple
kicker.
days ago.
She probably will do well. She will probably do well. Okay, guys. I don't know. There's nothing else. We could go and be gossipy about all of these house guests all we want, but it's really for naught because you can go into the live feeds and you can check it out, and then you can come back to us on Thursday and watch us next week. Hit a like and a subscribe. That will help you remember. Where else can you go throughout the week if you want to chit chat about Survivor, Christy?
You can come
Or
and
not
visit
Survivor.
us.
I mean Big Brother. See what
Yeah,
you
Big
did,
Brother.
Jimmy?
Hey, if you want to talk about Survivor, you can talk
We
about
do.
that there too. We don't care.
All the
We do not
Peacock
discriminate.
shows,
But I'm gonna hate on Jeff every time you do.
all the reality
whatevs.
shows, all of them.
But yeah, anything reality TV. I mean, I'm sure one of us has probably watched it, or we need to watch it. Come tell us what we need to watch. But come on over to Facebook, tally the votes. The three of us are there, and give us something to talk about. But you can also find us find us audio podcast version. Where, Jamie?
iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, and other places everywhere except for Podbean, apparently.
Apparently.
I don't know
That's
why,
it,
guys.
yeah.
I don't know why. It's just a thing.
Excellent.
So yeah, take us on the go. Watch us for
in
funsies and share us with
in-
your friends and do all that.
In closing, until the twin twist is revealed.
Or the triplet twist. Shoot for
guys.
the gold, David. Shoot for the gold. Let's all just put out some positive energy that our friend David has the strength and the courage to no longer receive the pain and anguish in his toxic relationship on Facebook and
Just
find
say no.
his way to freedom. Let us pray.
Love one another.
Thoughts and
Love one
prayers. Thoughts and
another.
prayers.
See you next
All
week.
right, guys. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.